Hi guys, and welcome to the first ever episode.
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah, of I really like cake, because I do really like cake. And Lee, you kind of like it too, right?
Yeah,
I wouldn't say your like for it anywhere near compares to mine.
No, I'm not obsessive. No,
I'm obsessive about lots of things. Okay, cake just happens to top that list.
well, you're not wrong.
So anyway, this podcast is going to be just kind of like our take on the world and growing up, which kind of sucks sometimes, realistically.
Sometimes.
Hey, there are some really good things. Like, I don't have anybody telling me, like, I was going to say that I can't leave my shoes in my bedroom, but you tell me that all the time. Husbands are mean.
Good job.
Well, okay, there are things you can do when you're a grown-up that you can't do when you're a kid, okay? I just can't think of any right now.
That's how it gets you. It's like, oh yeah, freedom, no.
It's like, welcome to freedom, where you have to pay bills and follow the rules and get a job. Oh, man. I done it again. Oh, guys, I've got a bit of a poorliness. I'm not going to say a cold because I think it's past that point, but my nose is stuffy and I've kind of lost my voice, but I wanted to start the podcast so it was like a real thing, not just like a thing we were talking about. So yeah, my voice might go a little crazy sometimes and kind of break, but hopefully next time we record the podcast I'll be better. Anyway, I saw a post. I think I've seen it circle around a few times. It's like, I finished my free trial of adulthood and I'd like to unsubscribe. And I was like, this just defines my life.
I mean, what would that entail? How would you unsubscribe?
I'm not sure.
Because, like, it's not like you don't want to be, you just don't want to be grown up.
I feel like maybe if you went and lived back with your parents again.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's kind of unsubscribing from adulthood, isn't it?
I guess. And, like, no longer having a job, or...
Yeah, I guess. Although you could be like a teenager and have a job. You just
go to school again? Like...
Yeah, move back in with your parents, go back to college, maybe get a part-time job so you can, like, pay your parents a little bit of money. Because these days, parents charge their teenagers to live with them, I guess.
I mean...
I never had it, but I know quite a few people who have.
Take what you can. Tell you what, if they're still living with us when they're teenagers, I'm going to be like, hey, rent, please. It's like, how else am I supposed to fund my gaming?
Yeah, I have to put up with you being like crazy, angsty teens. Can you just give me some money to make up for it, please?
It's like hazard pay.
So, for those of you who haven't come from like YouTube, we have 3 lovely children.
Yes.
That's a genuine cough, I promise. So our eldest is turning 7 in like 2.5 months.
Wow.
Actually, no, 2 months exactly, I think. Because we're about to start July, right? So
yeah, well, it's the 30th
August
today.
So. Yeah, literally like 2 months, not 2.5 months. That's snuck up on us a little bit. We need to start doing some planning. I need to do planning and you need to provide me money to do the things I want to do first. Then our middle child is Xander. He was born at 35 weeks and he is honestly still kind of tiny. Like, he's grown up too much for me to like think he's a teeny tiny baby anymore. But compared to some of the other kids at his age, he's a bit short. I can still fit him in 2 to 3 clothes, and he is 4 and like 3 months. Yeah. So 4 1/4. And then Ezra, who's a teeny tiny baby. Okay, not so much anymore. He's 1.5. And Honestly, when I woke up this morning, I looked at him and I was like, you've grown. Like, literally, you've grown overnight, noticeably grown. And I was like, oh, maybe it was just me being tired this morning. And looked at him in the pushchair. And I was like, no, you look like toddler transitioning to child, not a 1.5-year-old baby. How do you feel about our children growing up?
I feel like it's fine as long as I don't need to pick them up. Because
yeah,
oh my god, arms.
they're so heavy now.
That's how you know when they're growing
tiny.
up. It's like if you can no longer just hold them and walk around for like an hour.
Yeah. Do you remember when, obviously not Ellie because it's a bit different, but like when Xander was born and then when Ezra was born, you picked them up and they were just like the weight of like nothing. They were like a feather.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the older child comes in and they're just like, when did you get so ginormous? I remember hugging Ellie and it didn't feel like the same as it used to. Like, obviously it was still filled with love and everything, but like she just felt huge. It was like, you were my baby 5 minutes ago and now you're like ready to move out. I'm talking about when she was like 2.5, 3 and we just had Sanders. But it was crazy. And the same thing happened, like I said, Xander's really tiny, so I wasn't expecting the same thing. But when I went to hug him while he was holding Ezra for the first time, I was just like, my arm doesn't fit around you, you're too big. So we've come into this not really knowing what we're going to talk about this episode. We will, in general, have like themes and things we're going to talk about each episode of various parts of growing up and adulting and parenting. But yeah, this is just kind of a free-for-all, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like the introduction one, which doesn't actually ever have a
yeah.
purpose other than introducing.
The theme today is introducing us. Just discussing our lives. I really made a with my S's then. It was a bit turning into a snake.
Snack.
So I posted on my Facebook asking if anybody had anything they wanted to hear us talk about in the podcast. So I'll pop onto Facebook and see if I can find that post. If you're not friends with me on Facebook, I post a lot of stuff and I just share things all the time. So it's kind of like a black hole going onto my Facebook. Oh, have you seen this?
Sorry, what?
This says vampires couldn't see their reflections in older mirrors because they were backed with a layer of silver, which is considered a pure metal, but now they're backed with aluminium. So you would be able to see a vampire's reflection now. So if you're vampire hunting and you're like, oh, they're not a vampire, I can see their reflection, you're wrong.
You dead.
Yeah, that
vampire, brown bread.
The vampire's gonna bite you.
Ugh, now I want to play vampire. Damn it, why don't I have my...
Oh, what, the game that...
Yeah. It's like 50 quid. I'm like, oh,
seriously? Oh my god, games are so expensive.
Yeah, that's kind of like par for the course for like the AAA level game.
I've literally lost this post now. It was so bad. Did I post it after that or before that? Oh, here we go. I got it. I found it, guys.
That's where you find it. There's just no comments.
There's 3.
Ooh.
Okay. So my mum, my biggest fan, love you, Mum, said, what was it like setting up a home together? And what part of it did we enjoy the most?
I don't.
Let me re-spark your memory.
No, I remember. We just got here and we shoved a load of boxes and then they stayed there forever.
I won't get into this, but as the millennials say, there is tea to be spilt here. If you want to hear about it, let me know through some social media means. But yeah.
You're supposed to plug your Twitter.
My Twitter is SuzelYT, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm on the Instagrams usually. That one's Zuko. Yeah, I'm different everywhere. If it's on YouTube, because we're putting this on multiple platforms, so you guys can hear it everywhere, then there will be in the description. And I don't know if you can do episode descriptions anywhere
Show
else.
notes. You should
Show
be able
notes. Okay, cool. Well, I'll try and stick
I
all
feel
our
like
social medias.
I know
in
more
there.
about this podcast.
Yeah. Well, that's why I've dragged you along with me.
Oh, okay.
And so I've got someone to talk to. But yeah. So when we moved in together, we'd actually been married already for 6 months. We got married in May 2012, and I was in what's called supported housing because I was at the time 19, but basically when I had Ellie I was 18, and I just moved out of home when I found out I was pregnant with her, and I went into support housing, so obviously I could understand how to live by myself and not like forget to pay bills or eat. But yeah, we were kind of like half living together for those 6 months, but legally Lee wasn't allowed to live with me more than 3 nights a week. So I think they turned a blind eye to it once we got married, but we weren't officially living together until that November. So that was an interesting experience.
Yes.
And I had been totally in control of all the money because he was just kind of like half living there. It was all my responsibility, and then a lot of that responsibility shifted over to you from the advice of like one of the support people that worked at the support housing. So yeah, that was probably the biggest change, I think, when we moved in together.
Yes.
And obviously we found out a lot more bad habits about each other once we properly living together. And I think the best bit was setting up Ellie's bedroom. She'd already moved on from a cot by that point because she felt like it was a prison. So we had a cot bed and we put it into bed mode. And I got my nose is really stuffy. We got her she had this, basically a bed, and then this massive doll's house. Do you remember that? It was like really old fashioned.
Yeah. God.
And then the windows started falling off, and they had like sharp edges, so we had to get rid of it.
They systematically broke little bits of it off every now and then. So it was just like
it was like really
class.
old. I felt so bad throwing it away because it clearly lasted, but apparently when things come to us, they come to die.
No, nothing lasts past our children.
So yeah, we were its last home, and then it got gone. But yeah, there was that, and then she had like a little walker and a few other bits. And that's the last time I remember this house being remotely tidy. It's weird because obviously I vlogged our lives since Xander was about 6 months old. So we must have been here about 1.5 years then. And it looks tidy on a lot of those vlogs. And I'm just like, I don't remember this. What is this like? But yeah. Routines are something we really struggle with in our adult lives. I've never got along with them personally. I did not like school because it was just a bit too routine for me. I got on much better when I was homeschooled, but my mum was like homeschooling me on the weekends too, and I was like, I'm not having this. School's Monday to Friday. I had a big personality, I think it's safe to say. I've mellowed out a bit now.
Because of the
too tired from having kids.
Quotation marks here are quality audio content.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So what about you? Living at home, did you like routines? Going to school and stuff?
I don't know. I like having routines. I'm not sure I necessarily always stuck to them. But like The idea of them being there is comforting, right?
Yeah, no, I can see that. I felt it more like a boundary, but I could see
you're a
what you
rebel
mean.
and a free spirit.
Free spirit, I'll accept. I'm not a rebel. I was a good girl, apart from bunking off school sometimes. Okay.
You're the worst.
Was. I don't bunk off school anymore.
That's because you don't have school.
Exactly.
I guarantee if you still had school, you'd bunk off.
Probably. I'd be like, oh, sorry, I can't come in today. I need to look after my kids.
Ugh.
But yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah.
I still passed my GCSEs. It's fine. Right, so do you want to tell our lovely listeners who you are and what you do? Obviously, I'm pretty sure for legal reasons you can't mention the company that you work at.
This is like the internet thing. You don't put personally identifiable information.
Okay.
Right, otherwise you get crazy stalkers who come and murder you. So
Please don't stalk us, that's really weird. We're like super boring, okay?
Yeah. Well, my name is Lee. I'm your husband. Just in case you've forgotten.
And I'm a cakeaholic. Wait, no, that's me.
No. I'm a techaholic.
You are a techaholic.
I don't know. There's nothing else interesting about me. It's just my name. That's it.
You have a blog.
Oh, I mean, I guess I do post.
That you post to sometimes.
Yeah, I have a micro blog. It's called.
Okay.
So it's weird because it's like when people think of a blog, they don't think it's like micro blog. It's kind of like Twitter, but with less restrictions. So like you get the same 240 character limit, right? That you get on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
Or was it 480? And there's 480 now, I think.
Yeah.
It was 240. But then, like, if you need to post something longer, then it just makes it into like a blog post with a title.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's like Twitter and WordPress or whatever just goes merged together.
And how can the people find that?
That is let me just double check.
It'll be linked somewhere.
There's a URL. I don't want to like say it and be like, oh no, whoops, that's wrong. Do.
And Lee works night shifts, so we're currently just about getting used to sleeping schedules and things.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm used to it. I don't know about anyone else, but
well, basically, Lee goes to work. He leaves here about 10 o'clock at night and comes back just before 8 o'clock in the morning. So the kids really don't really know that he's gone.
Yeah.
And I only know that he's gone because I find it like comforting to have him in bed to sleep next to. So I think that's the only real, like from our side, the only real thing is I sleep deeper when you're sleeping next to me.
Okay, so the blog is ljch.micro.blog.
Okay, there you go, guys. If you fancy checking that out, it's mostly about tech and games.
Yeah, stuff like that. Mostly technology.
Is there anything else you think about you?
I mean, no. I'm not interested. I keep telling you this.
Okay, so me, there's like a long list, but I'll cut it short. Basically, I'm Susie. If I haven't said that already, and I don't have like a job. I do the whole parenting thing instead. And I have 2 YouTube channels. One is about vlogging, like our general daily lives. It's not the most interesting thing in the world, but I like to have our lives documented, and I like sharing it so people can, be nosy, because I know people like to do that, because I like to do that. And I'm not completely weird. There are other people who like the same things as me. There's a reason daily vloggers exist on Facebook. YouTube even. And my other channel is Suzule, which is Suzule, which again you're potentially listening to this on, but if you're not, go and check it out. It's kind of like a general everything channel. I do like DIYs, stuff with the kids. I'm about to start a bullet journal thing every month. Well, hopefully every month. Because I've recently started bullet journaling. And what else do I do? I do food ideas and stuff on there too. It's kind of like mummy, lifestyle, bit of everything. So yeah, that's me. Yeah. Well, it's so boring. Oh my god.
Well, I mean, I feel like you're several steps above me on the interesting meter. The interesting meter.
Well, I like to get out there and do things, don't I? I've recently been a bridesmaid, like in April, I want to say, and I'm doing it again in March, like this coming March. So obviously, I'm a good friend too. So there's that. People trust me to be their bridesmaid.
I feel like it doesn't require a lot of trust. It's just wear a dress and show up, right?
No.
What do bridesmaids do apart from like sleep with the best man?
Well, I didn't sleep with the best
man. Well, I should bloody well hope not. It's like the stereotype, right? You know, the bridesmaids.
Also,
single.
That wedding had 2 best men. What situation? Like, does one bride? Oh no! Does one bridesmaid get one of them, or does and then the other one get another one, or does just one?
Well,
have both of them?
Because there's normally like 5 or 6 bridesmaids, so I'm assuming it's not like every single wedding. It's like, oh well, gang bang.
No, I think it's supposed to be the maid of honor and the best man.
Yeah, and then the bridesmaids and grooms.
Yeah. But you want groomsmen, so I just didn't.
Wow, good.
This is a weird conversation. No, bridesmaids have to help with
They have to moan about constant dress fittings. Right?
No, I mean, I feel like that's a behind the scenes thing. But we have to help with the seating plan, and we go dress shopping.
I just thought that was the maid of honor's job, or a wedding planner's job.
Well, yeah, but I feel like the bridesmaids have to help with a lot of stuff, but the maid of honor has to, and the bridesmaids, it's just kind of you should, but if you don't, you're not going to get kicked off of the duties.
I guess. And
then usually at the wedding, on the day itself, each bridesmaid will have a specific job that they'll have to do, getting people to take photos or sign the guest book and stuff. And then the groomsmen or the ushers or whatever get people to their seats.
None of this sounds appealing.
I like weddings a lot. These just meh weddings. Or meh social events.
Been there, done that, got the t-shirt.
We did a very, very low-key wedding. We're having a vow renewal in 4 years. Less than 4 years now, but not much less. Because our wedding was so low-key, it was literally registry office. And then we went to a sports bar and had a finger buffet and some dancing and some speeches. Which, if you really come down to it, is not much different than most weddings. But, it didn't look like a wedding. It looked like a school disco. Only I had the nicest dress.
I mean, I suppose it's kind of similar, because at both things I just kind of sat on the side.
You actually danced with me at our wedding, which
I feel like I'm contractually obligated to
Yeah,
dance with
I was going to say, if you
like...
didn't dance with me more than the one dance at our wedding, I think I may have divorced you by now.
Well, I feel like at that point it should be an annulment, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
We
it should
had-
be like, no.
We hadn't had a chance to consummate.
This marriage isn't going to work on our wedding day. I don't think. Luckily, you pulled through and you did it.
Ugh, dancing.
And you danced without me too when that weird Star Trek song came on.
That's because that song is amazing.
But yeah, I don't think I actually got a full slice of my wedding cake either, because I was busy dancing with my bridesmaids. And apparently everybody else really liked it, so there was none left for me to take home.
This is really, really not on brand for a podcast called I Really Like Cake.
I know. Maybe like subconsciously, that's why I want to eat all the cake, because I didn't get our wedding cake. When we renew our vows, I'm just going to have like half the wedding cake, and any weight I've lost for like the day, it's going to go.
When we renew, instead of a buffet with finger food, it should be a buffet with cake.
Oh my god,
like
a cake
20
buffet.
different cakes.
I was looking on my Pinterest boards for like all the kids' old parties, party planning stuff, and like 80% of the boards for like actual events, because I've got like food ideas and craft ideas and all that kind of stuff on there too. But the ones that were actually for parties, there is a s'mores bar on like the majority. I felt like, I think I really want a s'mores bar at one of these events. Oh god. It's really funny to see like the similarities. They're like, are these parties for the kids or for me? Yeah, a bit of both.
Yeah.
I feel like with Ellie, it's kind of okay, because it's also like an anniversary of me becoming a parent. Or you as well, but like of me becoming a parent.
Yes,
and,
okay,
like,
I don't matter.
You matter. It's just not as big of a deal for you.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, you didn't have to push a baby out.
Well, I mean, no, but I had to deal with someone pushing a baby out.
You weren't there for Ellie's birth. Ooh,
Well,
shade.
not my fault.
No, it's not. I had Ellie in this tiny little room in the sport housing, and there was absolutely no phone signal. I think 3 texts were sent and many calls attempted to be made. Literally none of it got through. Lee didn't find out till the day after she'd been born. Which, I mean, she was born like the evening time, so that's not. It's not like you waited 24 hours to find out.
Yes.
Yeah. My dad nearly delivered my baby, but the midwife arrived just as the head was crowning, so that was interesting. Also, her name was the same as my ex's ex, so I was a bit like, I'm not sure about this.
Conspiracy.
It was definitely not the same person. She was much nicer. I was like, I can't do it, I'm gonna die. She was like, you're gonna be fine, just push. I was like, ah. Oh, my voice went.
I feel like midwives must just be like really tired of like people in labour being melodramatic.
I feel like they're probably past tired. They're like, oh yeah.
It's just deadpan. It's like you're like,
like,
the world's ending, I'm gonna die, and they're like, sure thing, honey, just push.
They got to find like the humour in it, I guess. I wanted to be a midwife for a while, but I don't think I could deal with all the blood and stuff.
What's wrong with blood? There's plenty of it in your body.
I know, it's when it comes out of people's bodies I don't like. Yeah.
I don't get why people are freaked out by blood. It's not like if someone, like, there's a truck that crashes and ketchup spills everywhere and all the bottles holding it break, you're suddenly like, oh no, red liquid!
I think it's like the idea of what it is. You know? It's like if somebody's internal organs came out and looked like sausages. But whether they don't, like, but if they did, I feel like you'd still freak out a little bit because they need those in there.
Well, it depends on how much I care about the person, to be honest.
That stuff's supposed to be on the inside.
I guess, I don't know, it just doesn't really know. I've watched God knows how many horror films.
Yeah. Also, another issue with me being a midwife is... Sorry about that. I accidentally stopped recording and we had a little break to eat some of our Tokyo wok.
Food.
So good. Although I don't think I've ever actually finished a little box of the Tokyo wok.
No.
It's all those carbs. They're so filling.
There's noodles that, they fill you up. So.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to move my laptop. Can you hold my drink? So that doesn't happen again. Because basically my elbow nudged it off the arm of the chair and it fell and stopped the recording. Because I'm grey and not clumsy at all.
You need your laptop, or how else will you upload?
I know.
Thingamajiggies.
Podcast videos. Photos I've ever edited.
Wow.
I can speak. So.
Yeah, what were we talking about?
I can't even remember.
Anyway, you had more than one question, right? We should...
Yes, I did. Sorry. I'll go back to Facebook and find that post. Okay. While I'm finding that post this time, we thought we would tell you how often we'll be attempting to post this podcast. Yes. For the time being, we're not making any promises. But we are aiming to post every 2 weeks. Lee, what day do we think we're going to post on? It has to match up with my video upload days, which are Sunday, Friday, and Wednesday.
So it has to not be on one of those? Or?
It has to be on one of those.
Yeah. So I would have said, when's this going to...
I don't know.
So what was it?
One of those
Saturday
days.
Today, right? As we record.
Yes.
So why don't you upload it tomorrow and then just every other Sunday?
Yeah. So every other Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, every other Sunday then. Cool.
I have found the next post. We have my voice kind of went then. It sounds like I was about to start crying. Kind of discussed this a little bit, but how did it feel when you had your first baby?
You're supposed to say you asked the question.
Oh. This is Katrina Evans.
I don't know who that is.
No, I didn't think you would.
No. Okay.
It's just someone I'm friends with on Facebook.
Just because I have 35 friends on Facebook. It's not my fault.
Okay. So how did you feel when you first met Ellie? Because you didn't exactly have her.
God, so long ago now.
No.
I was just really happy and excited, and also very, very terrified.
Yes. I was really, really happy and excited, but I was really, really tired. I'd spent most of that day in pain, not realizing I was in labor. And when she came out very quickly once the pushing started. So it wasn't that bad. But my placenta didn't come out, so it was all a bit rushed, honestly. When she came out, I ended up having to go to hospital afterwards. So, but once it kind of settled down and I got to actually spend some time with her, I was just the most blissed out I've ever been. I had wanted a baby for so long. And obviously for a lot of that time it was very, very unrealistic because I was a child. I went a bit crazy in the 2 years running up to when Ellie was born. And so when she came, I felt really peaceful. I was a little bit scared of what it was going to be like. Because obviously I was still so young. I was the only person really having a baby. One of my friends was due a few months after, but I was the only person with a baby. And I didn't know how it was going to like affect me spending time with people, because I was a very, very sociable person, even like throughout my pregnancy. Luckily for like the first year, I'd say people stayed in touch quite a bit. So it was a bit of a null point. But after that, after I got married, basically, no one wanted to be my friend anymore, or yours.
Yeah.
We were just moving at too fast a rate for people, I guess.
They're just jealous. It's okay.
Yeah, they're jealous. They're like, what? How can they find this so young? I feel like it's more common in America to marry your high school sweetheart.
That's because high school is a thing in America.
Yeah.
You can't marry a high school sweetheart in the UK.
Like, age equivalent were high school sweethearts, because we met in college. I was literally just freshly 17 when I met you. And you were 18, I think?
Yeah, so
yeah, you would have been 18. So, like, that's the last year or two of high school, I think.
So you finished high school when you're 18, right? That's a thing, right?
It's like 18 or 19, I'm not sure.
I don't know, it's American. So,
yeah. But, yeah, we're basically high school sweethearts. Yeah. So, that kind of, we've reared away from the question, like, really strongly. But it was a lot of happiness, kind of like relief that I finally completed the mission of becoming a mother. And then some scaredness as well. Yeah, mostly happy.
Sounds about right.
Okay, and the last question is from Brennan, who is an old friend of ours, who we occasionally speak to still. Says, comparing shows you guys grew up with the shows that our kids watch. So what were your like top 3 shows you liked watching when you were young?
What did I watch? Supposedly when I was really little, I watched Thomas the Tank Engine all the time.
Oh yeah, we had Thomas the Tank Engine.
What else
I liked the green one. I think he's Percy.
Yeah. What else did I watch? I think I watched Power Rangers, right? I remember watching the film, so I must have been into the TV show.
I watched the film. I don't know about the TV show. Did you ever watch Ed, Edd and Eddy?
See, I feel like I must have, because I know what it is, but I don't remember.
Oh, and the Powerpuff Girls.
See, I'm not sure I ever watched that. I mean, I always knew what it was, but I mean, I've watched it since.
Scooby Doo. You must have watched Scooby Doo. Oh,
I have a weird relationship with Scooby Doo because everything's really cool.
Yeah.
But like every time at the end when they reveal that there's nothing actually supernatural, I'm like, slightly disappointed. Maybe
that's why you're like so against supernatural. Go down with Scooby Doo.
Also because they're not real.
You don't know. Innocent until proven guilty, existing until proven not, right?
No,
that's
not
how Christians work, right?
Oh yeah, exactly. Look at that.
Dude, we won't be Christians listening. Don't want to offend anybody.
I mean, my spiritual just offends people who have a religion anyway.
Yeah.
Like to clarify, I'm an atheist. You see, so every time I was walking along as Jehovah's Witnesses interrupted me listening to some music, all their terribleness, and they were like trying to and I was like, oh, I'm an atheist. The looks they gave me, they were like, oh, and just walked off. I was like, wow, okay, that was successful. Religious people really don't like atheists. It's like a thing.
Yeah. I'm not an atheist, I don't think. I'm not.
You're like agnostic, right?
I don't particularly believe in anything, but like,
you gotta believe in yourself, man.
I definitely don't believe in myself.
Same.
Totally getting off the subject of this question here, but like, I feel like I believe in magic, but not like in the fairies and...
Magic is just science that hasn't been explained yet, Susie.
Like, wave your magic wand and stuff will happen, I don't know. But like, I don't know. I feel like I believe in stuff, but nothing like that polarizes me to like a belief system, you know?
I guess I would say you're probably like agnostic or like more spiritual than
Yeah,
religious.
I like spiritual kind of stuff. It's more like I like to think that it's real, not that I actually believe that it's real. I'm open to the idea, but yeah, that's pretty much.
So yeah, you're agnostic. Basically undecided.
Just not about Christianity. I'm decided about Christianity. I'm not.
It's terrible.
Apologies to any questions.
I mean, yeah, sure, people can believe what they want. You know, I don't begrudge someone, but that doesn't mean that.
Yeah,
you know, my opinion is influenced by anything else.
To clarify, we do not dislike Christians. Like, we think that Christians can be perfectly nice people.
Unless they're American.
Christians can be perfectly lovely people.
Yeah.
I'm sure some of you listening are Christians, and you're wonderful, lovely people because you're listening to a podcast, so we love you. But it's when you start to like when people start to try and force their beliefs onto people, or like just really shove it in your face.
Well, yeah, it's like religion isn't the problem. Organized religion is the problem.
Yeah,
right. That's
and like it's kind of like that joke everybody says about vegans. It's like, how do you know if someone's a vegan? It's like, oh, they'll tell you. It's like if someone's coming up to me like, oh, I'm Christian, love God forever, heaven. I don't know what the Bible, woohoo, Moses.
Please stop.
Sorry, guys. But like, if someone's like shoving that in my face, going on about it all the time, it's like, can you just tone it down, please?
Could you not?
Like, I don't mind them talking about it sometimes. It's just when it's just all the time, like everything they do. It's like, again, sorry if we're offending anybody. This is how we are. Anyway, TV shows.
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't remember. I must have, because supposedly I watched loads of TV. I just sat in front of the TV all the time. I don't remember any of it.
Yeah.
I don't
know. I feel like I remember quite a lot of the TV I watched, but like just in very small pieces, like little fragments of memories. But like, say if somebody showed me a picture from a TV show I watched, or like said the name of it, maybe if I liked it a lot. I'm not great with names, so I'll probably forget the name of the TV show. I probably remember it then, like, clearer. But I remember quite a lot of the TV I watched was quite boyish. There wasn't all that much girly TV on in our house. Like, it's Scooby-Doo. Obviously, that's more like a unisex thing, but I feel like it's more boyish than it is girlish. We watched what they called Butt Ugly Aliens.
Oh, that's just mean.
I'm not even kidding. There were these like 3 blue aliens. I think they must have made friends with some kids on Earth or something, and they were like teaming up and solving problems, you know, monster of the week kind of situation.
There's not every kids show follows the monster of the week formula. They're not like.
I feel like it's easier than having like a story arc, because kids.
Yeah. Well, because especially with kids shows, like they air in order, and then they are constantly just rerun in no order. So
and like you can't expect a kid to be saying, "Mummy, I need to be sat at the TV at this time of day to watch this show."
Yeah.
Or at least I feel like you couldn't expect that when we were kids, because, you know, we still did the whole playing outside thing. Well, some of us did.
Speak for yourself. Outside.
Or like, you know, we went around to our grandparents' house on the weekend or something like that. But I feel like I could very much imagine if we didn't just watch stuff on like Netflix instead of actual TV, I could see Ellie turn around to me and saying, "Oh, this is going to be on at like 2:00 on Saturday. I need to watch it, Mummy."
Yeah, she wouldn't be asking the question.
She'd be telling us.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the stuff they watch,
I feel like kid shows today, they're either like really dumbed down or they're just like completely off the wall, kind of weird.
There is a very thin line, I think, with some of the Cartoon Network shows where I'm kind of like,
yeah, they're all crazy.
Should we be letting our kids watch this stuff? Like Adventure Time and
You don't diss Adventure Time.
No, Adventure Time is awesome. But some of the stuff in it's a bit weird. Like a bit like...
Is it like...
I feel like someone was high when they wrote it.
The regular show?
That's the other one I was thinking of. It's like, I feel like there's a lot more aimed at older children, like young teens.
But yeah, no, I think like Cartoon Network as well, they're like, you get specific like CBeebies is for little kids.
Yeah,
but I feel like kind of it's a bit, they're a bit older and it's very boy centric as well.
Yeah, definitely. For some reason, it does seem like TV in general does seem to be more aimed at boys.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. Girls are like, I don't know what the girls do. I don't know.
I don't know. They play with their Barbies and go out with their friends. I guess.
Dressing up as princesses and
I
don't know.
Again, these are stereotypes. We're not saying.
Yeah.
Because Ellie rarely plays. I can speak. I promise. Ellie rarely plays with Barbies. Like, she does like them and enjoy them, but she would much rather be like rough and tumbling around, climbing on the sofa and jumping off of it. And again, like, she likes to watch a lot of she likes to watch a lot of TV too.
Yeah.
And
I feel like it's very different because, like, when we were kids, it was, you know, terrestrial TV. You put a channel on and watched whatever came on. Whereas, like, obviously we don't have a TV subscription or anything like that, but it's just like Netflix.
Binge watch a series on Netflix.
And then when they watched all the episodes, like, let's watch that again. I'm like, I'm going to go crazy, please. No.
But it loops around, I think, sometimes. And they're like, haven't we watched this episode already?
You know, I've had a thing, I don't know if it's a new feature, but, like, you know, you get the, are you still watching this?
Yeah.
Like, on some of the Netflix originals, that comes up with, like, artwork, and it's got, like, the options down in the corner.
Yeah.
But it looks like the splash, like, the page, the way you would choose to start watching it.
Yeah.
But it's actually just the continue watching thing.
Oh.
It just, like, made it more pretty. Sorry.
That's cool.
I noticed that one I'm watching. Is it True?
Yeah.
Magical Kingdom.
Yeah, that's like the kids' current favourite program is just True, it's called, but there's True Friendship Magic, True and the Rainbow Kingdom, and True Wonderful Wishes, and they're all, it's like 3 different, I suppose, series, but it's all the same character in the same place.
Yeah. That and PJ Masks.
Yes, PJ Masks. It was, like, last year, it was Peppa Pig and Paw Patrol. There's a lot of P's. But they seem to have grown out of that for the most part. I think they still like it. It's just not their preferred program. More P's. Preferred program, Peppa Pig, Paw Patrol.
PJ. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Pee everywhere.
No, that's our potty training episode.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Not that I think we're going to have much trouble with that one.
No, yeah. So with Ellie and Xander, they're already potty trained, obviously. Xander was a lot of trouble getting him to potty train. Ellie was until she wasn't. And Ezra is not even 2 yet, and he's telling us when he goes toilet, he sometimes comes to me and says, I want toilet, and then I'll go sit him on the toilet, but he's too scared because we no longer have our little child toilet seat
Yeah.
seat.
Because he's very small, so he could.
Yeah, he could afford. And they're like holding him, like, is this what you want? Do you actually want to be on the toilet? And then he's too scared to do anything. So we are getting him a potty very, very soon. I've kind of been putting it off because I'm not ready to start potty training again. We did not long ago finish it. It was only a few months ago.
Think of all the money we'll save because we didn't buy nappies.
Yeah, so. I know. Once he's potty trained, no more nappies ever again. I'm going to be so happy. It'll literally be the first time in almost 7 years that we've not had nappies.
Jesus Christ, it's going to be weird. It's going to be weird.
Because Ellie was still in nappies when Xander was born, and Xander was still in nappies when Ezra was born. So it's just been a long stream of nappy changes. So it's going to be so, so weird when Ezra's potty trained and doesn't need nappies anymore.
Yeah.
And so much cheaper. I feel like that's the main thing on our child benefit goes on. It's just nappies and wet wipes. I feel like we still need to get wet wipes though, because they're just good for everything.
Well, yeah.
Right, shall we wrap up?
Yeah, unless there's anything else you want to elaborate on.
I can't think of anything. What about you? No, I think we're good. We're going to end this here, and we will see you again in about 2 weeks.
Yep.
And hopefully have a bit more of a structured episode with topics and things and segments. I'm excited to kind of figure out how to podcast properly and all that stuff. Lee's kind of teaching me, but I think he's still learning as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's because I have never done like a podcast, but you know, I listen to a hell of a lot of podcasts. Yes. So yeah, I kind of like it's like outside experience, but
yeah. Now we're diving in and trying it for ourselves.
Indeed.
And I'm leaning on you a little bit for it.
It's fine.
I'm like the sociable side of it, and you're like the know-how.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I wouldn't complain at being a professional podcaster, just saying.
That'd be cool. We'll end this here and speak to you next time.
Yeah.
Go and eat some cake. Bye, guys.
Bye.
The podcast you just heard was published with Anchor. Got something you want to say to the creator of this show? Send them a voice message using the Anchor app, free for iOS and Android.